Greetings everyone and welcome to the Work Racing Balance channel. In this video, I'd like to share my experience with the next level racing wheel stand Lite 2.0. So let's not waste any time and get started. I would like to start with a few sentences about the packaging, since very good. It comes to you as a bit hefty box and inside you'll find another box. It's pretty retail variant. Once you open the second one, you will be delighted to find the wheel stand itself. Hey, let's not spend too much time on this, okay? Rest assured, it's all wrapped up nicely and every piece is covered properly. And don't worry about the messy delivery. The wheel stand is protected well. Now, let me add a few sentences about the assembly. First, I want to mention the paperwork. I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the paper. This thing feels really good. The assembly guide itself is pretty straightforward and the things come almost assembled. And if you start to feel a bit overwhelmed, don't worry, Next Level Racing has you covered with a helpful video guide. I am happy to say that the whole process was super quick, less an hour in fact. Also, I have to mention the two cool additions, a bolt length detection card and a stripe. They both so well made and they will definitely put a smile on your face. It's a lovely touch, Next Level Racing. You can also find these helpful little guys inside the box, which will make it a breeze to manage your cables. Alright, your Next Level Racing wheel stand is ready to receive some of your sim racing gear. And don't worry, in most cases you won't have any trouble at all. Next Level Racing made things easier for you by pre-drilling a wheelbase deck for most common wheelbases from different entry and mid-level ranges. Hey, the instructions manuals makes it super easy to mount bases from Moza, Logitech, Thrustmaster, Fanatec, Camas, C-Magic, and Aztec wheel manufacturers. And a quick note, it can handle wheelbases up to 10 Nm. I feel like it is capable of working with bases with more torque, but I wouldn't like to try. It is a portable wheel stand, not a complete cockpit after all. The pedal plate has a lot of slots for you to mount your pedals. I don't have anything else to add here. It is just a solid metal plate to hold your pedals in place even during the hard braking. Also, the things come with an optional gear shifter mount plate that can be attached to the steering wheel deck. There are pre-drilled holes for it on both sides of the frame, which is good, but let me get back to this mount in the next part of the video. And don't worry about the hardware. Next Level Racing got you covered with bolts and washers. Alright, you've got the steering wheel stand put together and your gear mounted. Now it's time to tweak everything to make your driving experience as comfortable as possible. You'll probably start by adjusting the wheelbase deck, both the angle and the height. You would be able to find the perfect wheel deck height, no doubt. You can move the wheelbase up and down quite a bit because of the bolts and holes on the frame. But when it comes to adjusting the base angle, things are a bit tricky. You can tilt it forward enough. It might be even too much. To be honest, I am not sure when you'll need such an extreme angle in this direction. But you can really adjust it much if you want to tilt it backward. There might be an issue with the direct drive wheelbases. For example, the steering wheel might look at you at 90 degrees angle. You'll need either raise the overall height of the frame or adjust your sitting position to find a comfortable way to drive. Just a heads up, you'll be totally fine with the Logitech G series, where the steering wheel is positioned at the angle from the wheelbase. The pedal deck has a bunch of ways to adjust. You can use the pre-drilled holes to change the deck angle and distance to the frame. On the other side of the wheel stand, you can also change the distance between the frame and the cradle. There are 5 pre-drilled holes for this purpose. And the shifter mount. There is no way to adjust it except by choosing the side where it will be mounted to the steering wheel deck. For me, it's not an issue. I don't use the shifter, but I did some research and found that most people don't find its position very ergonomic because it's too close to the steering wheel. Something to keep in mind for everyone planning to use a manual shifter. Here is another adjustment tip that the people usually don't mention until it becomes a real problem. The wheel stand Lite 2.0 has 4 leveling feet that help you avoid wobbling if your floor isn't perfectly flat. And trust me, it's as important as getting the perfect sitting position. One of the best things about this wheel stand is you can fold it up and move it out of the way when you don't need it. Yeah, that's exactly why I bought it. To fold things up, you just need to remove the two threaded knobs, and that's it. And yeah, let me share my opinion about this feature. It folds up, which is great. And you can store the wheel stand in an upright position somewhere. But is it useful during daily usage? I think not for everyone. The wheel stand is quite heavy and pretty big, even when it's folded up. Also, in my case, it can be folded all the way, but I'll talk more about it in the next part of the video. Once everything's set up, it's time to use the wheel stand for what it's made for, racing. And the wheel stand's performance during the racing is solid, nothing to complain about. There is a little flex in the frame from front to back, but tightening those bolts pretty much solved the problem, and you don't feel any movement at all when you are racing. The pedal deck feels rock solid. The chain cradle works great, and I think the most people will enjoy it as much as I hoped for. The next level racing wheel stand Lite 2.0 is especially great if you've been mounting the steering wheel to a desk and putting the pedals just on the floor next to a wall. The ability to brake without sliding backwards is a game changer, literally. But not everything is so perfect. Some things make it pretty obvious that it's a compromise. For me, there were some issues before and after the gaming session. And, well, let me explain. First, to get a comfortable fit, I need to set the wheelbase deck as low as possible. Second, I need to set the cradle as close as possible to the frame. After I put my office chair into a cradle, I had a hard time getting into it. Just so you know, I am not short person, just an average height. I have also adjusted my pedal deck to the closest position to the frame for same reason. This setup is the only one that works for me. I might be doing it wrong, but I'm not sure, and well, yeah, that's my experience. Another factor, the casters on my wheelchair are plastic, which is pretty common, and can be easily damaged by the metal cradle. And trust me, I am careful enough. The issue is that the cradle isn't wide enough to fit the distance between the casters. Also, the bolt heads are looking inside the cradle, which is limiting space even more. After the race, I want to get my workspace back in order and fold the wheel stand. Can you believe how many times I actually folded it? Once. I did it once. You might wonder why. I did mention that I set the lowest wheel deck height and the closest position for the pedal deck, right? That's why the wheel stand can be folded all the way down. The steering wheel hits the pedals. I can store it vertically either. The reason is the cradle mounting brackets go way beyond the cradle, which makes the whole thing really unstable vertically. And for the same reason, it can also damage your floor. I ended up moving the wheel stand away from my desk and leaving it unfolded most of the time. Another thing that makes the portable nature of the next level racing wheel stand Lite 2.0 irrelevant to me is the weight. It's pretty heavy, and moving it across the room every day without the wheels, it's a bit of a challenge. I know I might be the only one who feels this way, but it's how the things works for me. After using this product for a month, I started thinking about setting up a dedicated space for my sim rig in my room. I was glad to find out that the next level racing has the Victory Seat add-on that lets you turn your wheel stand into a full-size cockpit. Or a Victory cockpit with the red accents, basically, that does not provide ability to fold the frame, but costs less. The next level racing wheel stand Lite 2.0 is a perfect if you're on a budget, short on space, and set on getting into sim racing. But the table mount just won't cut it. And also if your sim racing gear is entry or mid-level. Most likely you'll be thrilled with your purchase no matter what if you've been mounting your steering wheel to the desk, or if you're planning to play in a living room in front of a big TV. Another plus, even if you want to upgrade to get a more immersive experience at some point, you can still buy a seat add-on, which turns next level racing wheel stand Lite 2.0 into a full-size cockpit. But hear me out, it's still a compromise, and you have to understand that. If you can spend a little more and set up a dedicated spot for a sim rig, I highly suggest you to look for full-size cockpit. So, before actually buying this thing, ask yourself one question. Do you really need this compromise?